So, unfortunately, we're going to be starting off with some bad news on my end today, talking about Bungie. If Bungie, you probably know them from Halo. They are also the company that makes Marathon. They were also the guys that made the original Oni game, if you played that back in the day. And unfortunately, there have been some layoffs at Bungie quite recently. And this is part of what I'm going to be talking about in my next part of news. But basically, what's happened is, long story short, Bungie has not been performing as well as PlayStation had originally hoped they would be. Their revenue is down around 45% this year. And because of that, then PlayStation or Sony went to Bungie and they said, hey, you guys, you are not performing as well as we were expecting. And because of that, you're going to have to make some cuts. You're going to have to figure out what to do about that because the amount of money that's being pumped in, we're not getting that back out. So Bungie decided that the best way to save money was to cut some of their staff. So they've fired about 100 people. And unfortunately, the way they went about it was not the best because a lot of people went into work that morning and were told, hey, we're going to have a meeting. And in that meeting, they were informed, oh, yeah, by the end of the day, you're not working here anymore. Get your stuff together. And they were saying by the time they were out the door, all their email accounts, all their passes, everything had been canceled before they were even out the door that day. Other people were saying that they were informed by email where they woke up basically in the morning, check their email in the morning, and it says, oh, yeah, you don't work for us anymore. So it was a bit sudden. A lot of people are very upset with the way that this was handled, despite the fact that they even, beyond losing a job, just the way it was done. So yeah, it's not looking good. And oddly enough, this has caused Bungie to delay the newest Destiny 2 expansion. I believe it is the Final Shape is the next one. And it's been delayed until late 2024 or something like that. Yeah, so it's a really an odd situation because normally you would get rid of people when you have extra staff and you're trying to cut costs. Here, they're cutting staff and it's actually causing them to not even be able to get their products on time. So it's a really weird time to be cutting staff. But unfortunately, the last Destiny expansion did not do very well, as I said, and Bungie was supposed to consult Naughty Dog on the factions expansion, the multiplayer aspect of The Last of Us 2, and apparently Bungie made some decisions there that have caused that to be delayed quite a bit, which it's still not out. And yeah, because of it, some people ended up getting let go. And unfortunately, it was not the people higher up making those decisions. It was, of course, the lower level people, mostly, I believe, artists and that sort of thing. So,
Yeah, no, that's sad, but the way they were laid off, I imagine Bungie is an American studio, or at least most of the people laid off. That's not typical to video games industry or something. It's just the American way, right? In the companies I was working for previously, some managers which were performing well and have been working for the company for 10 years plus at a meeting on a Tuesday, saying, you did great this fiscal year, fantastic. So we are starting a new fiscal year. Oh, by the way, by Friday, pick up your stuff and go. It's very American to do this, and it's a terrible way to do this. To fire people in France or in Europe, you need lots and lots of procedures to do this, and it takes at least 3 months. Anyway, that's just how it is. And so, Destiny was a big game of Bungie, I imagine. It was doing quite well, Destiny 2, right?